Alright, so this video is my top 10 favorite anime part 2, right? Okay, so again, One Piece, Hunter x Hunter, that's my number one spot. They both are. It just is what it is. Their spots have never changed. Um, Let me see. The rest are not in order, but the third one will be Ranma One Half. I freaking love this show. It's funny though, because this show actually like gets on my nerves, but it's so addictive, and some of the stories are just so freaking fun to just like to watch. Like some of the episodes are just really good. Um, and basically what Ranma One Half is Ranma One Half is a story about a boy named Ranma, and Ranma literally falls into a cursed spring. Him and his dad both fall in a cursed spring, and Ranma fell into the cursed spring that turns him into a cute, adorable redhead girl who's like 5 foot that every dude is basically obsessed with and wants to get with. And then Ranma's dad fell into a pit or a pond or whatever you want to call it, hot spring that turned him into a panda. And it's funny, spoilers, it's funny because what this show does is it shows other characters who also fell into the cursed ponds, and it was literally freaking Ranma that made most of them fall into the ponds, and it's just really funny. And basically this show is like a harem show where basically it's like everybody wants to be Ranma's fiance. And basically what happens is Ranma and his dad, we end up seeing them go to this school, and the school is basically Ranma's father basically has a friend who owns this dojo, and basically he has 3 daughters, and they both want Ranma to marry one of the fiancés, and one of them is Akane, and Akane is like this super serious man-hating tomboy. Like she's super sexist, can't stand men, does not like men get on her nerves, and Ranma is very super sexist, can't stand women get on his nerves. And they basically are like we go through that will they won't they phase of will they ever get together and whatnot, and of course we get the little scenes where they're cute together, they show a little romance, but basically everybody wants to date both of them. Some people want to date Ranma's boy half, some people want to date Ranma's girl half, so he's constantly bombarded by a whole bunch of dudes that want to date him, and he's constantly bombarded by a whole bunch of women that want to be his fiance. And then the same thing with Akane. Dudes are so obsessed with Akane to the point where she has to literally fight dudes when she goes to school every morning. She's fighting off like thousands of thirsty dudes, bro. It's kind of crazy. And it's funny. And it doesn't surprise me that she hates men so much. And I actually really love this show because even though it is super sexist, it's sexist to everybody. It's one of those type of shows where it's literally like you can't complain. You can't be one of the people, I don't like how the show depicts men. I don't like how the show depicts women. You can't even do that because the show is literally sexist to everybody. And I really love the cast of characters in the show. But it's like you do start getting irritated by some of them. Like some of them are really freaking annoying and get on your nerves. Like Akane's man-hating stuff can get kind of tiring, and Ranma's woman-hating thing can get kind of tiring. But it's always nice when you see that they actually understand the other side's point of view. Ranma understands, like, yes, Akane goes through a lot. Being a woman, she has to constantly deal with all these weird, creepy dudes constantly drooling all over her and thirsting all over her. And she fights them, and she trains constantly because she has to, you know. And you can actually feel some of the creepiness off of some of the dudes. And I love how this show shows that to men. Like, it shows men what women go through. And I love how it shows the reverse of how, yes, women can also be crazy as well. And Ranma has to deal with the crazy women. But then Ranma also gets to see it firsthand what it's like to be a woman when he turns into his cute little adorable redhead self. And how obsessed the dudes get with him when he's a dude. And the show has fan service, but it's literally like Ranma is the one who's naked a lot of the time as a woman. So technically he's a man, even though he becomes a woman, he has boobs and whatnot. But it's like the fan service is usually mostly with him. Now, when it comes to women that really like Ranma, you have people like Shampoo. Now, Shampoo is an Amazonian, and Ranma beat her in a fight because him and his dad ate up all their food, so he had to beat her in a fight. And basically how it is if a woman beats her in a fight, um, what was it? You get the kiss of death, and then they come and like hunt you down. But if a man beats them in a fight, then they marry the man. So Shampoo originally she starts fighting. She comes to kill Ranma as a woman, and then she finds out he's a man, and she like changes her mind. So that's kind of how we get introduced to her, and she ends up going and jumping in a cursed spring because Ranma is terrified of cats, so she uses that against him a lot of the time. And the reason why he's scared of cats is because his dad basically put him in like a pit full of like hungry cats when he was young. I believe that's what it was. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's okay. Um, and then there's I think it was Yukio is how you say her name. I'm really bad at names, but she's basically a chick who, for the longest time, dressed up like a dude, and then her and Rama literally are about to fight, and then he actually finds out that she's actually a woman. It's pretty freaking hilarious. And she's a cutie patootie, like it's like funny. She like dresses as a guy at first, and then she starts wearing like this cute little outfit. And she loves to cook. She has her own shop where she cooks. Shampoo has a little shop where she cooks with her grandmother, who is also part of the Amazonians. Um, then there is this other guy. I think you pronounce his name Hapasai. I'm just gonna call him the dirty old pervert dude. Basically, he's a dirty old pervert. He's actually the teacher of Ranma's dad and Akane's dad, because they studied the martial arts of anything goes, where basically they can do anything in a fight. And this show is really cool because the show has so many different ways that the creator created like styles of fighting. So for example, there's like skating fighting, there's like eating fighting, there's like freaking what else? I'm trying to think. There's just a lot of different unique ways of how they fight, and there's all these unique different schools, and it's just really fun to always to see like a new school where it's a new fighting style that they use. Like the skating one was one of my personal favorites. Um, but the show always stays fresh because it's episodic and it's like a sitcom, so it constantly is changing all the time. One of the thirsty dudes on the show is Ryoga. Ryoga is his character type is basically like one of them obsessive, creepy, nice guys. That's basically what he's supposed to be. Where he's so obsessed with romance to the point where it's kind of creepy and it's kind of annoying. And I like how they put that in there too, just to kind of let guys see, like, yes, when you're doing that overly romantic, nice guy stuff, it does get on women's nerves after a while. It gets on my nerves because it's just seeing him constantly do that is so annoying. He really likes Akane, and she thinks that he is a different person than this little black piglet that he turns into because he fell in the springs because Ranma hit him and made him fall in the springs. And he's called Pichan when he's in his pig form, and Akane freaking loves him in the pig form, but she doesn't know that he turns into the pig, even though it's so freaking obvious because he literally has the same little bandana uh, that he wears on his head, like literally on his body, so it's super obvious that he is the little piglet. But she loves P-chan, and she treats P-chan like her own kid. And it's like, it's cute because he's a pig when he's like that, but it's also kind of creepy on his side. It's like you're really letting her believe you're a little pig so you can get closer to her. It's weird as hell. But I like this show so much. I'm going to talk about my top 5 favorite episodes. Okay, so one I recently watched is basically the perverted old man that I was talking about earlier. Basically, the perverted old man, he's the teacher of Akane's dad and Rama's dad, and he literally steals panties. He's been doing that since he's a little kid. He steals panties and bras. He doesn't care. He steals anybody's panties and bra. It could be a teenage girl. It could be a grown woman. Like, he doesn't care. And the show lets you know that he's a terrible person. Like, it's not like, what's the word? It's not saying what he's doing is okay. Like, he's literally evil. Like, that's the point. He's an evil little old man pervert. And I'm not gonna lie, I really like him as a character because most of his episodes are super interesting. And one of them I watched last night, spoilers, was basically like an episode where everybody falls asleep before the food is done. Because Akane is, she's the youngest sister, and she has 2 older sisters. I think it's Nabiki, if I remember correctly, is like her older sister by like a year. And then she has an even older sister who's like 19, and she's like the sweetest, kindest, like mother-like character. But her sister is like an Android 18 kind of personality, even though she's before Android 18. So Android 18 got a low-key got her attitude from her, because Ranma is from the 80s. And it's funny because it's literally like this episode basically was like a dream-like sequence. And we see like the perverted old man. He's the first one to fall asleep, and everybody basically falls asleep next to him, and they're trapped in his dreams. and it's a really freaking good episode. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but that's like my one of my favorite ones I recently just watched. Another one is basically Ranma, his girl half basically splits from him and becomes, it's basically his anima, and he falls in love with the girl side of himself, and they're going on all these dates and stuff, and the girl part of himself is like really creepy and scary. One of my second favorite episodes. The third one is when they go back in time to China, and spoilers, we get to find, we find out that the grandma of Shampoo and, the old perverted old man, they actually low key liked each other, and the grandma was like gorgeous, and the old man looked literally exactly the same except young, which is hilarious. He's always been short and small and annoying and pervy. Um, so we actually see them go back in time. It's pretty cool. Pretty sure that is that three of them right. That's three episodes right there. Another episode I like is when Ranma hits his head in his girl form and starts to believe he's actually a girl. It's a really freaking good episode. Like, it's so freaking, like, you feel so bad because you don't want nothing to happen to girl Ranma. Like, you have this feeling of like she's so innocent and sweet, and it's like, please don't hit her or nothing. Like, you feel so bad and you're like nervous, because she's like different from the actual Ranma, and she really believes she's a girl, and you just like, you want to protect her. You have a protecting feeling, um, for her, and it's just a really good freaking episode. It's so good. I'm not gonna spoil it though. Like, you guys watch it. I don't want to spoil it. And then what's another one I like? I think that's four right there, right? Anything with the perverted old man is literally good episodes. I kid you not. Even though he's like so annoying, it's like his episodes are always the most interesting. Okay, another one of my favorite ones is basically there's an episode where he really likes this preschool teacher, and he tries to change from being a perverted old man to being a good man. That episode was so wholesome, but it was also funny because, of course, spoilers, he didn't get the woman. But I like the fact that he really was trying to change and not be creepy. Like, I really like that. It's like a really good episode. Now, Ranma, I do want to talk a little bit of my history with Ranma. I used to read Ranma one half when I literally was like 15. I read all of the manga. I checked them out of the freaking library. And then before that, when I was like 13, there was this woman. We called her the guinea pig woman, and she liked a lot of anime stuff. The guinea pig woman was like an older woman who was like in her 50s, and she had a daughter who was like 30. And they had like guinea pigs in their like living room. And the daughter had a DVD box set for Ranma one half. And I remember me and my Mexican friend, we like sat there and like watched like 2 episodes of it, and we thought it was pretty cool. Um, but like I said, I didn't really get into like reading the manga and stuff like that until I was 15. But I also remember this: if you had like the Pokemon videotapes, at the end of the Pokemon videotapes, it used to always show the Ranma movie, the first one, the English dub of the first movie. And I recently just watched it like a week ago, and it was good. Um, but yeah, it was a pretty good movie. It was very Ranma, right? Um, so I was really happy to actually finally see that movie, because I always used to see at the end of the Pokemon videotapes. I always used to see that Ranma movie um, preview, and then I used to always see the Kiba the White Lion preview, and it used to give me goosebumps as a kid. I might watch Kiba the White Lion like later on this year. But yeah, I used to always see that on the end of the Pokemon videotapes. Um, but yeah, I really love Ranma. Ranma has like a special place in my heart. It's a really good show. And I'm glad I'm finally like watching it. I'm almost done with it too. With the first half, because there's more episodes. There's like OVAs and stuff, so I still got like a lot more that I can watch. But Ranma is like Ranma's a 10 out of 10 for me. I really like it. I would buy the box set of it. So far what we got: One Piece, Ranma, and Hunter x Hunter. So that's three right there. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell me your guys' top 10 list of anime. Don't be scared. Or talk about whatever you want to talk about in the comment section. Your traumas, your insecurities, your stresses, whatever you feel like talking about. This is a place of free expression. I don't care who or what you are. I don't care if you're transgender, gay, straight, black, white, man, woman. Hey, you need somebody to talk to, I got you. You need a shoulder crying, I got you. I'll give you a virtual hug. I love you guys. Take care. Peace and blessings. I hope you guys have an amazing night. Yeah.